It's time for the Mohney Show. High atop the third story of the historic Gibson House overlooking beautiful downtown Centralia. The star of the show, Steve Mohney.
Yes. Welcome back to the Mohney Show. Hey, it's good to be back in the studio, and we've been out on assignment the last couple of weeks. Paul Walker's with me. He's been out on assignment.
Yeah. It's been a busy time.
When you were gone, we were out on the road. We were at Napa out in Onalaska. That was not the grand opening yet. That's coming. But we toured the facility. It's a brand new Napa store. And boy, if you haven't seen it, check it out. It's a couple of weeks ago. And what?
You just said it's not open yet. The grand opening is.
Oh.
So how are they going to see it?
Well, I just thought drive by.
Okay.
It's in the old Onalaska Fire Hall. You can't miss it.
Oh, okay.
It's on Carlisle Avenue.
Okay. I just it seemed to me that maybe when they're open is be an easier time.
Normally we kept this stuff out, but
no, we're leaving this. This is gold, Jerry.
So
gold.
we're going to let you know when it's open. We're actually going to broadcast live from out there.
And yeah, that's going to be fun.
So that's going to be a good time. But you can drive by and see the Napa sign. But it's not ready yet. But it is
getting
really
close.
It's getting really close. Inside, man, they put a ton of work in that thing.
And that's as Gertrude just said. Sadie. Gertrude's off this week.
She's like,
so Sadie is saying that it's the old fire hall.
Yeah, it was the old fire hall, and there was a huge, was it a fireplace? It was right in the middle of the building, so it wasn't connected to the floor, so they were able to take that out. But man, I mean, they've re-roofed, they've re-insulated, all the wiring's brand new. It's pretty cool. And next door is storage and behind storage. So on Alaska and East End folks, you're not going to have to drive clear into town to pick up parts, which is super cool if you're laying under your rig and you're like, oh God, like yesterday, changing the oil in my truck, and I put the oil filter. Well, what the hell is this? Oh, this is for the Toyota.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I make that mistake all the time.
I know you do, but you can run right down to Napa and pick up your parts. So we were on assignment in Napa, and
so I have questions.
Okay, go ahead.
Is there a pole that they slide down to hand you the part?
Yes. If you order something from before 1989, that's where they keep the older stuff upstairs.
Okay.
So the guy goes upstairs, and then you say, "Hey, I need a water pump for a '68 Chevy," and then he slides down the pole with the part. With the part.
I like that. So I need a new 3-on-the-tree transmission for my '72 Maverick.
Right.
Boom.
Right there.
Down there.
Slides. Well. Do you need a part for the transmission, or do you need the actual transmission?
Probably.
Okay.
In fact, I need the '72 Maverick again. I'm missing the whole thing.
Folks, you do know that this man can't even change a spark plug.
Oh, I don't even know what a spark plug is.
No,
I can barely put gas in the car.
Well, I think the thing that's
barely.
Paul stretches things out when he actually goes down and buys license tabs.
Yes, I have to ask for instructions from my friends at Lewis County Licensing. Now, where does this go?
Yeah, it goes on the license.
Now, one last question about this, because it's just it's right here.
Right.
Is there a Dalmatian still there?
No, that was Gertrude.
Okay,
the dog.
Okay. Did Gertrude leave some Dalmatian things behind?
They took no.
They got that out.
No, they took when they have a new fire station.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this is the old one. So they took Gertrude the dog with them.
Gotcha. Okay.
With the fire trucks and the apparatus.
The apparatus. The apparatus. I don't know.
No, that's what they call it. Fire department stuff's like pump trucks and ladders and all that.
Yeah.
That's apparatus.
Apparatus.
Yeah, I'm surprised you didn't. You watched Emergency.
Well, not only that, I was a volunteer fireman for 5 years.
Were you really?
At the Little Rock Fire Department.
Nice.
Yes.
Did you ever get on the radio and go, yeah, what was the name of
It was District 11,
District 11.
And we had 5 stations. So we were. I was out of 1122.
Okay.
1122 is 10-8. I believe. Is that 10-8?
So you were what station were you at though?
Station 2, Little
Station
Rock.
2.
Yeah.
Did you ever go? Yeah, Station 2, KMG 365.
No, it's 1122.
Okay, but you should have done KMG 3 or you should have responded 1 Adam 12.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Martin Milner came rolling by every time.
I know he did. He was mad, wasn't he? Martin Milner was always mad.
He was.
Pretty serious. Yeah. Pretty serious. So, yeah, thanks to Dave for showing us around the Napa store in Onalaska. We were also over at Maximilian Motorsports, and that was last week. So you can see that. Boy, what a place.
Yeah.
Man, that place is just spick and span beautiful.
Well, Max, he treated us with, what was it last year that he brought over?
The Mini.
He brought a Mini Cooper and I'm not sure what year it was, but an older Ferrari.
Yeah. Over to the
Music in the Park.
Music in the Park, yeah.
Yeah, he'll be involved at the Music in the Park again this year. And I mean, if you have a Sadie, does he do all
makes and all models. They're a European specialist because there's just not a lot of that around.
And he also does electric stuff now too, which is as more electric cars come on the horizon, he can hey, how come my dome light doesn't work? Well, it's you got the wrong converter on that thing for the dome light.
Okay,
I don't know. I have no idea what I'm talking about.
He also tunes race cars.
He what?
He tunes race cars.
Yeah. So. No, that was just fun. So take a look at that. That's last week. And again, thanks for Maximilian for having us there and explaining all kinds of different stuff. Yeah. I mean, I learned a lot. I'm a car guy, and man, he's got stuff up on lifts. He's, and the whole place is decorated so nice. You walk into the bathroom and he's got part of the DeLorean from Back to the Future up on the wall there. Now, Sadie, were those pictures that they see on the video? I mean, I can't remember what he said, but are they actually signatures from Doc?
Yeah, well, he had a photo on the wall near the DeLorean piece that was a photo of like a dozen or so DeLoreans in front of Maximilian's shop.
Okay.
And we were talking about at one point there had been a DeLorean dealership here.
Yeah.
And so then there were signatures from everybody that participated, I think, in that meetup.
Yeah, very cool. And then right above the toilet, if you're using the toilet, out of time. That's the license plate, out of time. No, it was really great. So again, thanks for having us over there as well. And then we will also stop by Brunswick Shoes in downtown Chehalis. We talked to Bruno for a while. I got a new pair of Vans.
All right.
My Vans were stinky and gross at home, so tried on a couple of pairs and just kind of toured the store. Hometown, that store has been there for well over 100 years. If you need shoes for the kids and, sports are coming up and all that stuff, that's local. Shop local. Brunswick Shoes, right in downtown Chehalis. And again, they've been there for decades and decades. And I mean, I remember going there when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And what's weird is, our studio here in downtown Centralia, the park in between our building, the old Blarney's building, I remember coming through there. I mean, like when I was like 3 or 4, I think was JCPenney right across the street from where we're at right now. I don't know. I can't remember, but I think it's still on the door handle. Said JCPenney.
Yeah. I don't know.
I know. I mean, but that stuff's super cool. Okay, all that's out of the way. Paul, you've been busy, man, over on the Eli Sports Network. Yeah. Give us a rundown. It's been very exciting.
We're officially done with winter sports, and we got it all wrapped up with the state basketball tournaments. Over the weekend, we were in Yakima, we were in Spokane, and in Tacoma, all at the same time.
Now, how many announcers is that? The whiteboard is just, I
think
huge.
We had about 25, something like that.
At the same time.
Yeah. Well, not all at the same time, but they're all they're rotating in and out.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. It's a busy 4 days, but boy, it goes by fast. It's exhausting.
Yes.
But we got it all done. And it was another record year as far as views.
So explain to us about the views, because, like with radio and television, those are kind of estimates. But
right.
we have Facebook, we have all the social media, and they're able to keep track, aren't they?
Right. And so with, of course, we work through the NFHS as the national platform that we use. And with the WIA, of course. But over the weekend, we had a little more than 220,000 live device views. So that does not tell us how many people are behind those devices, but it is an accurate count of the number of computers, phones, smart TVs. It's available on Apple TV and Roku and all these other things that the NFHS is available on. And so it counts each one of those, and it only counts them once. It is not one of those that, so these are unique device views. And so
if there's 5 people watching, it only counts for one.
It only counts for one. And so, we can tell people we know for sure that there were a minimum of 220,000 people that tuned in.
Man,
likely
that's
it
huge.
was well above 500,000. So.
Wow! Congratulations.
Yeah,
that's and thanks for our sponsors. Thanks to our sponsors.
And I will say this: it appears that the on-site attendance in Tacoma was down, and I really think that the passes really hurt some of the on-site attendance. And Spokane was down a little bit. And that really was not surprising because last year was like records. It was huge.
Yeah.
So it was just off of last year. And so that's really a strong showing.
I know my younger brother with, Matt, Luke was involved at Spokane. So they did make it over the pass and they were there.
Yeah.
So, but a lot of folks might be, kind of dicey.
And a lot of folks, I know our folks went down around the gorge to get over there.
Way better that way.
And it adds about 3 hours, I guess, to your trip, but they got over there. Yakima, the on-site numbers weren't in yet, but I was told a couple of times they had to stop selling tickets because they were at capacity.
Wow.
So Yakima, I think, did really, really well again. And, it's just like regular sports and everything else like that. Matchups really matter, good matchups, and because to be fair, they also rotate when the different classifications and teams play. For example, there's probably no question that the 4A boys would draw more. On a regular basis, would draw more live fans.
But do they?
And they do.
Do they? Okay.
And they do, except not this year because it was their turn to be at 3:00. And so again, this is hats off to the WI. Everyone gets their turn. They rotate the times every year. So the girls aren't always at 3 and 5 o'clock, and then the boys get 7 and 9. They don't do it.
Yeah.
Too bad. They're going to rotate it around. And so this year was the 4A boys were at 3:00. 4A girls were at 5 o'clock. 3A boys at 7, and then 3A girls at 9 o'clock. And so they rotate them around. Same thing in all the other, locations. 9 o'clock at night.
Man,
That is,
you're watching that game. You're watching it. You're in the, wherever they had, you were either in Yakima or Tacoma Dome or whatever. And hey, it's snack time.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, we're going to talk about that.
Yeah, I know
later.
we are.
Yeah. Maybe after later in the show here. I got some issues.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
So, who were the big winners? Who are locally? Who?
Biggest
winner,
winner,
I know, but I want you to congratulate.
Napavine girls, state champions. They were the big winners. Locally, absolutely.
Congratulations.
The state champions from Spokane were Nia Bay girls, Napavine girls, the Wellpinit boys, and the Colfax boys. And Colfax, I can't remember. I do know. The Adna boys, I think, finished 4th. Napavine boys finished 5th. Mossy Rock finished 2nd to Wellpinit. They're right in that. They had a chance there, and they had a rough 4th quarter. Otherwise, the Vikings of Mossy Rock, the boys, would have come home with the state championship
Wow.
as well. They were in the championship game.
Sadie.
Yes.
Question: is Mossy Rock going to be in the 1B classification next year? They are.
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm not a. I think so. Yeah, I don't recall.
So
them
was any
changing.
of the, maybe not making it to, with the coming home with the state title, was that due to any of the concession food or?
Well, no, it was more due to my mood at the location I was at. So that's we'll talk about that later.
No, I know we'll talk about that.
Oh, exactly.
I think we're going to take a break here. Is that cool?
Yeah, let's
Okay.
do that. Yeah.
Let's take a
Bob,
break
just
and,
real quick, coming up, the next thing for us, Dance and Drill State Championships, March 22nd and 23rd, or 23rd and 24th. It's the Friday and Saturday. And then we're in the spring sports.
Right.
Boys soccer, baseball, fast pitch, boys and girls, track and field, golf and tennis, and spring sports are here, and underway.
Oh man, finally.
Yep.
It's been a while. Yeah, cheer is so huge. Cheer.
Oh,
it's just like,
dance,
for people that don't really know that, it is massive.
It is. It is.
So that'll be exciting. Okay, let's take a break here. We've got stuff that's coming up around the area this coming weekend. We'll talk about that, and I think we're talking about concession food too.
Oh, we very well could be.
Yeah, we're talking about that. So stay right there. We'll be right back with the Mohney Show. At Tyler Rental, quality equipment and helpful counter pros save you costly delays. For projects big and small, Tyler has Genie man lifts and forklifts, Deere excavators, welders, and generators, plus new tools from Steel, Milwaukee, and Hilti. While you're in the store, shop for hard hats, safety glasses, gloves, hearing protection, and much more. Contractors and homeowners depend on Tyler Rental for selection and well-maintained equipment to avoid downtime. Tyler Rental, 153 Hamilton Road, south of Chehalis. Hey, we're back with the Mohney Show, and thank you, Paul Walker. Good to be back in the studio with you again.
How about that? Yeah.
Oh, by the way, the Beatles set's still up.
Yeah, I know. I see you've been busy in here.
No, I decided that it was it was worth keeping up there, man. There's all kinds of stuff going on in the month of March with the Beatles too. March 12th, 1969, Paul McCartney married Linda Eastman, and girls, he married her in just what do they call it? A civil. Went down to the courthouse and married her.
Yeah, okay.
Girls were crying and carrying on and all that stuff. And then John Lennon married Yoko March 20th. And that's all in the song, The Ballad of John and Yoko. Peter Brown called to say, you can make it okay. You can get married in Gibraltar near Spain. Christ, you know it ain't easy. Sing it along. You know how hard it can be. The way things are going, you're going to crucify me. Okay.
All right. Are you done?
I'm done.
Good.
Events.
Events?
Yeah. Sadie's got 2 events that are going on. Sadie, tell us about a couple of different events that are happening here.
Well, there's a couple events I have my eye on this weekend. One of them is the Artisan Farmers Market that is going to be inside the new Northwest Salmon Smokehouse.
Ooh.
That's the new restaurant that's inside the old Bartell's location downtown.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
So from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Saturday and Sunday, you can go in and check out all their different stuff. You can have lunch.
Tasty.
I had lunch there with my friend Dr. Alicia a couple weeks ago. They had smoked mac and cheese. They have a big loaded baked potato you get with whatever pulled pork you want on it and stuff.
Sounds so good.
Really good. So definitely check that out.
Okay.
The other thing I'm interested in is I see there is a cornhole tournament to benefit the Lewis County Autism Coalition at Dick's Brewing. And this is Saturday at noon. And I didn't realize this, but apparently cornhole tournaments are a regular recurring thing at Dick's Brewing.
Yes. Yes.
Yep.
There's a Facebook group you can join specifically to get alerts just if you're a cornhole athlete. So you always know when the next tournament is.
We should set that up in here and do have a little contest. How do you think you do, Walker?
We'll just pull it out here in the hallway.
Yeah.
Now that's a hell of a good idea.
Are we going to have brackets? Is this serious?
We could do
Well,
this.
I don't know about all that stuff. That's your guys' thing.
I think, can we pound a steak in and do horseshoes out in the hall? You think?
You know what?
Jeff might be opposed to that.
He could be.
He might
be.
By
the way, yeah, that's one thing. I mean, real quickly here, but we are going to go downstairs to O'Blarney's because St. Patty's Day is coming up, and we're going to take a tour of the kitchen.
Jamie is all excited down there. Yes. She is the head chef, and going to show you how bangers and mash and the corned beef and cabbage,
corned beef and cabbage, and I'm just I think it was a soda bread. My mom used to make that. My mom was always okay. We're having St. Patty, and she would cook the meal, and then
also the Irish stew.
Did you say bangers and mash?
Yeah, bangers and mash. Yeah. What's shepherd's pie?
Shepherd's. You know who loves shepherd's pie? Keith Richards.
Okay.
Yeah, Stone's Keith Richards. He does. He loves it.
I don't doubt it.
Anyway, so yeah, that's next week, and that is going to be.
Doesn't look like the man has eaten a meal in 50 years, but yes, okay.
Why do we have to do that? Why can't we? Hold on. Let me see if I can find a poster. Oh no, I guess.
Yeah.
That's all I have is Jagger here.
Well, no. See, there's Keith right there.
Oh,
What's the event you have on your orange paper?
Yeah.
The what?
The event you have on the orange paper. What do you got going on?
Well, I love the way the director over there is.
Trying to keep us on
she's
track.
like, okay, you're done with the O'Blarney's bit. When you move on, time a ticking near.
That's my job.
I just found this. So this. And folks that put this out, they'll recognize it because it's on this orange paper. This is the 41st annual 4x4 off-road and high-performance swap meet, and it's up at the Washington State Fair Event Center. I just went to a swap meet up there a couple of weeks ago, but this is put on by the Spanaway Moonshiners, and they're in Tenino.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're in Tenino. So Spanaway Moonshiners Jeep Club. P.O. Box 1279, Tenino. And this is this coming Sunday, so March 10th, 2024, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. at the Washington State Fair Event Center. So a lot of folks are into the whole 4x4 high-performance swap meet stuff, and it's going to be a good time. Uh-oh, Paul's got it.
Well, and I just want to point out something that's correct.
Yeah.
41st annual.
Yes.
That's correct.
Yes, it is.
First annual is not correct. It's the first. It's not an annual until you do it a second time.
Or you can put first ever.
Yes, but quit with the first annual. There's no such thing.
There is no such thing. So, yeah, thank you for pointing that out. Okay, now this is cool. Sadie, are you going to go to ladies' night after you go grab some lunch?
I mean, I hear there's going to be some deals downtown.
Ladies' night, yeah.
Stores are open late.
I think I'm going to put my headphones on so I can actually hear you. So, ladies' night, Gemini Events presents Ladies' Night downtown Chehalis this Saturday.
Yep.
So, this is March 9th from 2 p.m. to 7 p.m.
Okay.
And vendors and champagne bar inside the Vintage Grand Room. And you can shop the vendor market inside the Vintage Grand Room, then grab a map, hit the downtown area to shop at each of the participating businesses and enjoy their sales and specials. And I just got done talking to Bruno here at Brunswick's, like an hour ago. I said, you going to be open? He said, heck yeah, I'm going to be open.
Yeah.
So the businesses that'll be open, it's going to be a great time. They had a huge crowd. They did it late last year, didn't they? Yeah.
Yeah. This is hosted by Gemini Events. If you aren't familiar, that's owned by Ashley Scott Stotts.
Okay.
She's an amazing organizer. She does the downtown events. She also organizes a lot of the vendor blender events that happen at the Jester Auto Museum.
Yes.
So she's busy year-round doing this kind of stuff. Incredibly professional productions. Really good stuff.
Yeah, it's going to be a good time. So that's ladies' night, and starts at 2 o'clock, goes until 7 o'clock in downtown Chehalis. And one other place that we're going to be hitting pretty soon for a big tour is the Veterans Memorial Museum.
Yep.
And Chip's got all kinds of stuff coming up this spring, this summer, and he does a wonderful job at organizing and getting this stuff, executed. So it's just a lot of fun.
Yeah. And someone else we're going to welcome to Music in the Park this year.
Yes, absolutely. The Veterans Museum is a sponsor of Music in the Park. Also, don't forget to spring forward
Is that this weekend?
That's
already?
this weekend.
Oh boy, when are they going to stop this nonsense?
I don't know.
Why?
My body can't take it.
Well, just leave
Sadie,
it.
that's right. It's this weekend, right?
Yeah, I got to adjust my kids' bedtime now. It's going to be chaos for the next week and a half.
So we lose an hour, right?
No. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So spring forward,
we lose the hour that we just got. I don't know. I can't.
All I know is when
I don't. What farmers are still relying on this? This is why they did it, right? This was long ago. It was for the farmers.
I think it was back in World War II.
No, it was Ben Franklin came up with this.
He did.
It was long ago.
Hey, I'll tell you what. Somebody get Ben Franklin on the phone right now. I got some things I want to talk about.
Well, at this point, are the farmers still needing the? I mean, do they still need this?
Well,
if they do, then good. I'll go with. I'll roll with it.
I talked to Missy the cow, and she said she prefers it. By the way, it's not daylight savings time. It's daylight saving time.
Yeah, I can't wait for daylight savings time.
Yeah, you smart ass. Are we taking a break now and talking about other stuff?
No, we're not, because we have another event to talk about.
Hold on a second here. Hold on.
We've been kind of hinting at it.
I know. We've got McFiler's Chehalis Theater downtown. Chehalis are doing the dance party. They've done a couple of these, and this no cover charge. So this is at the Chehalis, McFiler's Chehalis Theater on Saturday nights.
Okay.
So take a look at that as well. I think we've covered most of what I have here anyway.
Right.
And we've got a massive event that I can't wait to.
The reveal is coming soon.
Yes.
Very soon.
It's music in the park. Take it away, Paul.
The last contract I received yesterday, and
is it buttoned up?
It is 98% buttoned up.
Okay.
And
who didn't close their button yet? Oh, you can't say it.
I can't say it yet, and it's not. It's just to make sure we're on the same page, and we always are. But we have 3 shows coming up. I believe. Is it July 19, July 26, and August?
I have
July
19th, 26th, and 2nd.
And August 2nd.
Okay.
That's the 3 consecutive Fridays, as always. We picked those Fridays because they are the driest Fridays that we've ever had.
Right.
Everyone gets nervous when I say this, and knock on wood. No, we've never been rained on in music in the park ever. It's been close a couple of times.
Yeah.
It's been close a couple of times. But, the reason we do it then is that it is absolutely the driest time of the year historically.
Maybe I asked the guy in the food truck.
Yeah, exactly. And we've got one returning act that was a huge success, and it will be a fun act. We've got one that's coming. Actually, it's a couple of them. That no hints, but it's one band versus these guys are huge, and they are out on the road, and they are tribute bands, and it's one versus the other. And in fact, the reason that it fits for us is that they'll be up at the Skagit Casino.
Right.
The week prior, and they've got a couple other stops up. They're literally these are 2 tribute bands.
Yeah.
They're out on a big bus on tour.
Oh, they're the real deal.
The real deal.
Yeah.
They're huge.
I cannot believe we got these guys.
It's going to be a lot of fun. And the last one is kind of a sneak one.
Oh, by the way, I will put this out there. There will be kind of maybe a beverage on the bus with those guys.
Well,
I'm going to sneak on the bus.
That could be. I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I don't either.
That's out of my purview.
Yeah, it is out of you.
And then our last one that we're just buttoning up. All I will say, 2-time Grammy winner.
Yeah. And
2-time Grammy winner.
Oh, you know what?
That's all I'm going to say.
Paul just reminded me of this, and I'm not sure if we're going to have to take another show to do this. We might have to, but I will say that this has been on my mind. You say Grammy winner. And she also knows Bryan Adams. She's good friends with him. She's written a whole bunch of songs for Bryan Adams. And I'm just wondering what the heck. Why is Bryan Adams not in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame?
Oh, well, we have a whole show on the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame coming up.
This is
someone's
just kind
mad
of
about it. So.
I'm just gonna say this, that I think it's time that we, boy, they're gonna raise hell when I say this. Maybe we should call it the Music Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
And maybe we should do more like, it's just an idea. And I know, the guy is saying, in Cleveland, who's this punk? But it's like, you have different categories. The Grammys have different categories. Why don't we do something like that? Because right now we got Tracy Chapman, Sinead O'Connor, Ozzy. These are just off the top of my head. Foreigner. What the hell? Foreigner's not in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame?
Yeah.
Paul McCartney, if you want to go online and look up Paul McCartney, Foreigner, there's a funny little video of Paul McCartney actually, he says some funny stuff that's like, whoa, Paul said that? Yeah. So anyway, we're going to talk way more about the induction, the possibilities for induction into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Right. And
we'll do that later on.
The clear overlooks, such as, I think we can
Three Dog Night.
Three Dog Night is one.
Johnny Rivers.
Alan O'Day, clearly.
Oh, my God. Yeah, why do you have to do that? I'm being serious. This is actually this means something to me. And then you bring up Alan O'Day.
Hey,
hold on a second here.
Yeah.
At Summertime 1977, number one this week, this is Casey's Top 40.
That's right.
On with the countdown.
There we go.
Okay, so that part's finished. And we're going to take a break, and we're going to talk about...
we got some concession food to talk about. I lived off of concessions here this last week. I got some thoughts.
I got some problems with you people.
I got some problems with you people.
Are we gonna bring
and by the way, I have a recommendation, and I'm gonna throw it at Sadie and at Steve, and I think you'll see it soon. Maybe as early as next fall on the Mohney Show webpage.
Okay.
But that's I'm going to save that.
I have one question.
Yes.
With your thoughts about the concession food, do we have to bring in the Festivus poll?
What?
Well, you got a lot of problems with those.
I do. Yes,
okay.
I do have
I guess we're not bringing the Festivus poll in.
Yeah, no, we're going straight to the feats of strength.
Okay. Got a ton of problems with you people. If you don't know what that's about, look up Costanza.
Yes, Frank.
Yeah, Frank Costanza. We're back right after this. Your locally owned Napa stores have the parts and service you need for safe driving. Through February, see better on dark roads with night vision headlight replacement bulbs. Save $15 on the 2-pack. Don't get stuck with a dead battery. Claim a $20 gift card with the purchase of a Napa Legend or Legend Premium battery. Start the new year off with an oil change. Save up to 42% on Mobil 1 synthetic oil. Wilson's Napa Auto Parts, open 7 days a week in Centralia, Chehalis, Rochester, Tenino, Castle Rock, soon in Onalaska, and at lewiscountynapa.com.
We are back.
We are back. It's the Mohney Show, high above the O'Blarney's building, downtown Centralia. And we've had quite a few things to talk about today. It's good to be back in the studio. We've been out on the road, which I really like that. And coming up next week, we're going to be downstairs at O'Blarney's. Watching, we'll be in the kitchen, preparing Irish food. St. Patty's Day, of course, is coming up. And we're talking about food. We're talking about preparation.
I think, by the way, next week you should put on your best Guy Fieri, outfit, because it's kind of like one of those.
I'm going to do that.
You got some flame,
Who was
sleeves
telling me?
or something like
you
that.
know what? I just talked to my son Matthew here just a couple of hours ago. Right now, Matthew's in Mississippi. He's in Jackson, and he got a call from one of his friends that lives in San Diego because he was there for a while.
Yeah.
And there's a bar restaurant that he goes to all the time with his friends in San Diego, and he just got a call from one of the gals he knows there, and that guy was there with Sammy Hagar.
Oh, yeah.
So, Guy and Sammy Hagar were hanging out at this place. And
little business meeting sounds
they
like.
were just, they were having a good time. So, anyway, on the topic of food, man, I was kind of surprised, and I was really happy to hear that In-N-Out, the famous In-N-Out restaurant, Double Double, they're coming to Ridgefield, Washington. I didn't think they were gonna come up to the rain, because that's kind of the whole thing with In-N-Out. I mean, just hot, and they've got the, their logo with the palm trees and that stuff. But they did submit plans to the Ridgefield, city or whatever for a restaurant. Well, they are going to change the colors a little bit though. So
Sadie, where were we? Were that really dusty fast pitch tournament in Oregon?
Kaiser, Oregon
has an In-N-Out.
Really?
And remember that?
They also have an Abby's Legendary Pizza.
Yes, that's another story for another day. That's the story for, we don't want to go down there right. Just don't. We're sticking on In-N-Out here because it was amazing. Every single day they had people out with cones.
I know.
And they blocked off a lane.
Yep.
And we're going, really? And every single day, it's this massive line to go through the In-N-Out.
If you don't go through the drive-through, and I usually go to In-N-Out. I did go to the In-N-Out in Grants Pass. That was, and I've been to the one in Salem too. The one in Salem was brand new when we went there. We just happened to be in the area, so we went there. The one in Redding, California, I mean, the line can be out the front door, and most places you would go, oh my God. I mean, it's going to take forever. It takes like 4 minutes. And you're in there, you order, and you have to wait for your food for a couple of minutes because they cook it.
Yeah.
They're cooking it, but it really is it's a fun place. Okay. So I just wanted to mention that.
Yeah.
You have I don't know, a discussion to take place about food.
Yeah.
You're irritated with concessions.
It's a tough business. I get it, and I get like you're stuck in the Tacoma Dome, and there's really nothing around the Tacoma Dome that you can go out just.
And they don't have all the restaurants. Don't they have restaurants in the Tacoma Dome?
No, that's gone now. That's been long gone.
Wow.
That's
Climb and Pledge Arena has fish and chips.
I don't know what it is, but it was a little rough. Again, it's a tough business you're not. If you don't have events there constantly, I mean, who can, you got to keep up. So it's hard to have an extended menu and things like that. So they had the regulars,
hot dog.
Hot dog was okay.
Yeah.
It's a concession hot dog, but it was $7.
How much I'm not trying to interrupt you, but I went to a swap meet at the Washington State Fairgrounds.
Yeah.
Okay, this is just a swap meet. A pretzel was $9.
Oh, yeah.
And it wasn't like it was fair time.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a swap meet. So couldn't we make the pretzel like $7? I bought a box of them at Grocery Outlet for $4.50. There was 37 of them in there. Boy, I mean, popping that thing in the microwave and getting that sloppy cheese, that's really putting it up there. Hold on, Sadie's got something. Yeah. Sadie?
I just wanted to know, could you get a cup of coffee at the Tacoma Dome this year?
I don't know. I don't drink it. So,
because that was always the biggest problem when I would travel, to any of the state sites. Like we were at the Sun Dome, you had to hit an espresso stand before you got to the Sun Dome.
Well, don't they make just colored water?
Yeah, I don't know what it is.
I'm sorry, we're being negative.
We're not, but
go ahead.
So the nachos.
Yeah. Oh boy.
Now Tony got the big loaded nachos, and they had a taco place open,
right?
But only for 2 of the days.
Okay.
And then we're not here for
that was the end of that.
We're not here for. And so he says, it was okay. It was stadium nachos, but you had some beef or pork on it or whatever.
Some kind of meat.
Exactly. So then you just have the chips and cheese.
Yeah.
Right. And you just, and then, right.
Is the ratio wrong?
No, because they don't do it that way.
Okay.
No, they give you the empty plastic container, and then there's a little cup of Tostitos cheese that's somewhat warm that you have to open, and then a bag of Tostitos there.
Really?
And so that's $8.
If it's not a vat of cheese, I'm not sold on it.
Exactly. And I want it over, I gotta open it and then I gotta spread, come on. No.
I'll tell you who has decent, those types of nachos is the concession stand over at Sand Headwall during the kids baseball season.
Yeah, there Wheeler.
They serve a weenie over there that's huge, and it's like $2.
The Wheeler Burger over at Centralia is huge.
Those are gold.
And then I think the concession, the restaurant in the hub, they come over and they service Borscht Park.
I don't know if they come over for sure, but they definitely
do,
have
because
good...
you know what they do? They have one of those like old ice cream.
Do they really?
Bikes, the trike with the big thing, and they bring stuff over and they take orders and they ride their bike back and forth.
You know what?
It's pretty cool over there.
I've been threatening to during the summer months have an ice cream truck.
Well, I think you should
Go ahead, Paul.
maybe start off with a Kool-Aid stand.
I used to have one of those.
Yes. Maybe we could go. We'll just have you out front here selling Kool-Aid.
I had my Kool-Aid stand over on Mayberry because, when I was a kid, I lived at 3601 Mayberry. And I thought, well, this might be kind of a fun little venture. I mean, we were charging like, 4 cents, 5 cents for those things back then. But I got a lot of the neighbors and they drive by and, I didn't really realize at the time what it was because I was young, but they kept putting their middle finger up at me when I drive.
You see?
My dad said, well, maybe it's time you go out of business.
Well, yeah, you had that. I had a different business.
I know you did.
Yes. As a kid, I had an old, I don't know what, it was kind of a dresser type thing that my dad had. And so he took the handles off an old wheelbarrow.
Yeah.
And put them, and so I could wheel it out there. So I had drawers. And I'd go to the old Hostess Day Old Bakery.
Nice.
And to Hank's Corner Grocery.
Yeah.
And then at that point, it was called Mark and Pack, which became Mega Foods. Then you could buy, gum.
Right.
So I had a store. I had a full store.
This is genius. Why didn't I think of this? How come someone didn't suggest this?
And so,
how old were you?
I was like 10.
Nice.
And then kids would come up and say, well, your candy bar is a nickel more than I can go. I said, well, go to the store and get it.
Yeah.
Or you can pay a nickel and not have to go to the store.
Right.
And they were slowly, took some of them, not real sharp. But
did you make money?
Oh, of course.
Nice job.
And then, we would go on camping trips to the Toutle River and stuff like that. And if you go to back then, you would pull out just handfuls of fishing.
Oh, yeah.
That got lost in there.
Yep.
So I had a whole, because at the end where I lived Glenwood Park in Tumwater.
Uh-huh.
At the end of the road was Strasburg Lake.
Right.
And every year they filled it with fish. And so it was a fishing lake. And so I had fishing lures. I had that. So I had literally a department store on the side of out in front of my.
Let me just say this, folks. If you don't know this, Paul lived a rather charmed childhood. Yeah, it was very exciting. His parents, you had good parents. There was a lot of funny stuff that went on. Your parents had a lot of personality. Oh, boy. And they were involved in the whole. So you got 2 brothers and a sister, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So did your brothers or your sister, did they comment on this or?
Well, now we also had a retired deputy who lived down there. He was an older guy. No one liked him because he'd walk around and think he's still a deputy. And so back then, if you blew off a firecracker, that was a big deal. That was it. So my brothers are back and they're blowing off firecrackers. Right. And we called him, that was Mr. Owen, I think. Anyway, but we called him Deputy Dog. My mother did not care for him. So. Oh, that ass. Okay. Thanks, Mother.
Your mother's priceless.
So he pulls up to my store.
Yeah.
Did
he ask for your business license?
He goes, hey, do you know who's blowing off all those fireworks? Nope. He goes, I'll buy all your candy bars from you if you tell me. I go, I really don't know. And he goes, oh. I go, so are you going to buy my candy bars? And then he kind of felt bad.
Right.
So he bought all my candy bars. And of course, I knew who it was.
Your brother.
It was my brothers. They were blowing things up.
So you made some money.
Yeah. So he bought out all my candy bars. And I said, okay. And I says, if I find out, I'll let you know. Whatever.
So, and then you restocked.
That's right. Yeah, exactly. I closed down for the day, wheeled my store back into
How long did you do that?
Oh, a full summer.
Okay, so it was just a summer gig.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good work.
Yeah, my dad put wheels on one end so I could wheel it out there. And,
see, that's a good dad.
Yeah.
So, my dad.
Well, I don't know if it's a good dad or if it's one that this will keep him busy and out of my way for hours. So,
my dad would. I think I mentioned this to you before. Man, I would come home from school, and if my dad had like a day off or something, I'd come home and he would have built my big electric train setup. Oh,
yeah. Okay,
that's gold.
Do you want me to? I'm sorry.
You gonna one up me?
I'm gonna 10 up you.
Okay, well,
you know how much I like horse racing.
Oh yeah,
and that came from the family. Everyone. My
folks
folks went, and then they brought us and everything. So my brothers and my cousin Diane, who is now living up in Bellevue with her wonderful husband, and she's the one that. We have talked. My godfather was the president of NBC back in New York, and things
that worked out well for you, didn't it?
Yeah, it didn't. Things like that. But cousin Diane was living with us for a while, and at the end of the high school, and she and my brothers decided that they wanted to race frogs.
Oh,
so we had Longacres.
Right.
So my dad took a piece of plywood and made lanes, the length.
I love it.
The length of a picnic table.
Okay.
And so there are different lanes, and he had
painted it all up.
And there was starting gates.
Oh, okay.
And you put the frogs in there, and they would hop.
Are there any pictures of this?
I think we do at some point.
Okay,
somewhere.
So folks, if he can find those pictures at some point,
I think my brother Tom might have those. So I'll have to go and find those. But so he covered it because you don't want the frogs to jump out of the lanes, and then they can't race. So he covered it with visqueen or that clear plastic.
Clear plastic.
The problem with that was they were doing this in July.
So frog legs were available at Paul's little store.
So the little tree frogs would start off, and then about halfway down.
Yeah. What's wrong? Oh, they're asphyxiated.
And they just literally baked in there.
What? Really?
So
Plan B?
So plan B was Dad took that off and put screen over the top.
Okay.
And not only that, because in horse racing there are different distances. They run anywhere from a half a mile to 2 miles. So he thought, you know what? We should have a sprint. So halfway down, he put another set of starting gate that you could pull out and put in.
Okay.
So it was a shorter race.
Boy, he's serious.
And they hand wrote out programs. My grandfather and myself would come to the races, and you could bet 2 cents, 5 cents, 10 cents, the whole thing. They had tickets.
I have a question.
Program.
I was just gonna say,
do you remember any of the frogs' names? Did they have epic horse names?
They had to. Yes,
they did, and it was like Speedy Toadalis.
How about
or
Jumpin'
something
Jack
like
Flash?
that.
Jumpin' Jack Flash?
Well, I don't know if Jumpin' Jack Flash was out by then.
Yeah,
it was early 70s.
69, 68, late 68.
Well, I don't think that.
Yeah,
that was
I don't think your dad was listening to the Stones.
Oh, no, he was listening to the Navy marching band or whatever that was.
Roger Whittaker.
If he listened to anything, I'm still mad because they created their own past performances or times. They claimed that they would test the frogs and then wrote in their workout. They ran this in 25 seconds, so you could see how. But the frogs were in this pit. And they had no idea which ones were which, right? No way they knew. But I didn't know. I was,
right.
And then they had the gall for 20. They took 25 cents from me, so I could, because it cost 5 cents to get in on our patio. So they sold me a season pass.
Your grandparents?
No, my brothers and my cousin. They were in charge of the whole thing. My grandpa bought the season pass too.
Yeah.
And so there's a picture of me and my grandfather with our programs, and it was, it was Long Acres. So this was called Frog Acres. Frog Acres. And so my grandmother thought, oh, isn't this cute? Let's call the Olympian and have them come and do a story. And my mom thought, well, illegal gambling probably shouldn't be in a feature story. Let's just let them have fun. So
you one-upped me by 1,000. Wow.
So there's the story of Frog Acres.
I do have to say this, for my younger brother, Matt, my dad worked for a company that did underground utilities. And so, my brother was in high school and football, since I'm trying high school football, of course. And so my dad put up a goal post in the front yard.
Oh.
Yeah, regulation size.
God, that's strong work.
It's really good work.
We had the telephone line that we used as that.
Oh, it was like, well, where do you live? Well, just, go up and then, look over and there's the goalpost. Oh, okay. Yeah, I've seen that place before. Dads are good. I love dads. Yep. I think we've all tried to do that. My big thing that I'm doing that has taken me 17 years is I'm rebuilding a 1970 Camaro.
Oh yeah, got to outdo everyone, don't you?
That we pulled. No, I'm just saying that we pulled out of a field that the kids found when they were riding the school bus, and my initial reaction was no. And then we went and looked at it, and it was covered with vines and everything, out on Jackson Highway, and I'm like, this is a 70. So anyway, I thought, well, I have this done for Steven when he's a senior. Well, he's 32 now.
Yeah, and we're hoping this year he gets that diploma.
Well, we're hoping that, with everything, we're hoping that Dad can finish that car by God.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's almost done, Paul.
Is it? Yeah. All right. Well, I think that should be a segment.
It's going to be a segment. I've got a lot of.
Sadie should head over there.
Oh, we're going to head over there, all right. Because it's been covered up with blankets for like 2 years because I didn't want to scratch it. And the other day I uncovered it, and even members of the family. Whoa! I didn't. It is a car. So that's my thing that I've done. But man, I think that is awesome. Now, I have one question about the frogs.
Yes.
Where'd you get the frogs?
Oh, they were all over.
Just all over. So they were just small tree frogs.
Yeah. Well, our house right behind it was a swamp.
Right.
And so, the small tree frogs were ever. Now, there was unfortunately a very serious issue with because the pit that I'm talking about is we had a basement and they had windows. So it was just they had a window thing. And so the frogs would fall in there and they'd be down there. And then there was a serious incident that wiped out half the population of the frogs. We looked down there, and there's one of those big red racer snakes that had gotten in there, but so it was like this long, and in the middle it was about this round. It had gorged itself on the frogs.
You know what? Completely off topic, man. I had a red racer in my garage.
Really?
That thing kept coming in my garage, and he had to know that I was not going to tolerate that. I'm under that. God, whoops. Under that, you might want to take that out.
No, you're fine.
Okay. I'm under that Camaro, and I don't, I don't like snakes.
No.
Yeah, he had to go, and he kept pressing his luck. And you know what? I got him under my refrigerator. Yeah, he kept hanging around my front steps, too. He was a bold little red racer. Sorry, that's just that. I just now remember that.
Hey, well.
Okay.
I had Larry the sports cat.
Yeah.
He would bring in snakes.
Yeah, God rest his soul.
Yes. So Thanksgiving morning, and he would beat the hell out of them, and he'd play with them, whatever, and Thanksgiving morning, I come out and there is a snake laying in our front or in the kitchen.
He had to show you.
No.
Oh,
he hadn't been out. This snake he brought in at some point got away from him, and the thing could hardly move. It was so, malnourished. This thing, I'm going, so this thing had to have been in here for months just staying away from Larry. hiding, and finally said, "I got to make a break for it, or I'm not going to make it." And I come out, and here's this horse thing. So I threw it outside, and I'm pretty sure it didn't.
I think you ended up in Tony's smoker. Boy, I love your story. I mean, that is you 1,000 times up me on that. Boy,
on Frog Acres?
Yeah, Frog Acres.
That's a good one.
I still think that the Olympian should have done a story. All you had to do is just say, you just not mention the wagering.
Yes. Well, that was, what are you talking about? That was, they had odds. They had the whole thing.
You got a great family.
Wow.
That's why Paul's the authority on Emerald Downs now. Hey, give us an update on that. When does horse racing start at Emerald Downs?
The track is open for training.
Open. Okay.
But not for racing. They open their first day of racing is Kentucky Derby Day, which is the first Saturday in May.
That was a big question on the Jet 95.7 with Jody and Binder the other day.
Yeah.
They said, they have a contest, and one of their questions was name all three of the big, what would you call that?
Races. Yeah, the Triple Crown races.
The big races. And I was driving down the road. Preakness, that popped into my head, and I
couldn't remember Kentucky Derby.
I was under a lot of pressure. I was by myself in the front seat of my truck, and I just pressured
I'm impressed that you knew the Preakness. That's the hardest one.
Well, I've been your friend for a while.
Everyone forgets that.
So name the three.
Kentucky Derby, Preakness, and the Belmont Stakes.
So if you win all three of those, then you're the Triple Crown winner.
There's only been a few of them. Yep.
Who won?
Well,
the horse race from the Seattle guy.
Seattle Slew.
Seattle Slew
was a Triple Crown winner.
Okay.
Let's see. American Pharaoh was. I don't know who the last one, but in the 70s you had Secretariat and Seattle Slew.
How about Smarty Jones?
And Affirmed. Smarty Jones did not, but won at least one or two of the big races.
How about Jumpin' Jack Flash?
No,
there was no.
No, it did not.
Why didn't somebody name their horse Jumpin' Jack Flash?
Well, look it up. I'm sure someone did.
Maybe they did.
Yeah.
Anyway,
absolutely.
Boy, I'll tell you what.
And you know what? Coming up this year on the Mohney Show right here, are we going to have it?
Apparently, I have no idea what's coming up on the Mohney Show.
Are we going to have the contest? The Kentucky Derby!
Oh, man. Yes, we are. I'll put them together, baby. Yeah, we're going to have I think we're going to give away a shovel.
Yeah, well, we'll give away something.
Yeah, we'll give away something. And by the way, I meant to say this too, that during the music in the park in Chehalis, during the summer, those 3 Friday dates, we will have prizes to give away.
Yeah, you already got a few.
Yeah, we've got some stuff from Brunswigs, and we'll have other really cool prizes to hand out during those shows.
Yep.
So, hey, I think that's about it for the Mohney Show. The producer over there, Sadie's
running up against
she's
the clock
doing this.
Here, yeah, up against the clock.
End it. Cut it out.
Hey, it's been a pleasure to be back in the studio with you, Paul.
Yes, back.
Man,
better than ever.
A lot of stuff happened, and a lot of stuff's going on this weekend.
Yes, we're talking about horse racing. Joe Withy.
Yes.
Calls games for us, but the voice of Emerald Downs and Long Acres.
Forever. I've talked to Joe many times.
Yes. He's not the track announcer. He's not the race announcer. He is what we call the handicapper. And prior to the race, when they're in the paddock and he'll go down and talk about each horse. And then he gives out his selections and points out different things and helps you. He usually has a guy named John Lindley, who's an excellent handicapper, or some others that'll jump in with them. But every year they have, they'll have someone come in, a couple people come in as a guest race caller.
Oh,
and so he thinks it's my turn this year that I'll call a race at Emerald. And if we do, then we need to have the Mohney Show there to chronicle.
We will be there.
The whole thing.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
That is cool.
So we'll see. That should be fun.
You know what that's like? That'd be like if I got to introduce the Stones.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, I would do that.
You would do that.
And then they go, God,
who knows? You may not be able to introduce the real Stones, but you might be introducing
some kind of
something close to that.
Hey, you know what? The guy that the Joan Jett's manager came up to me after I introduced her.
Oh yeah,
yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, would you please welcome? You know, and he goes, man, that was a great job.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
So that'd be like you calling a race.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe this sounds, Jagger, if you're watching this right now, I live 90 minutes north of the show that's going to take place on May 15th.
North?
So I was thinking north.
Are you in Vancouver, BC?
No, I'm not. Okay, no. Yeah, it's north. It's north of us. Okay, I'm 90 minutes south, halfway between Seattle and Portland.
Yep.
And that's what is that name of that place? What is they changed it
again?
Lumenfield.
Lumenfield.
Yeah, they'll be there May 15th.
Okay. Got your ticket yet?
No.
Okay.
I'm waiting for some rich person to buy me one.
Well, it might be on assignment. We need to do that. I was going
to say, it's not going to happen, is it? I think that wraps it up for the Mohney Show today.
Okay.
That's been a lot. We've covered a lot of ground, and make sure you hit these things this weekend. Spring forward before you go to bed on Saturday night.
And again, next week, we're going to be down in the Blarneys.
Oh, yeah, man. That's going to be hard to talk because I'm going to be just...
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's going to be great.
Are you going to do, by the way, what I can taste the... I
noticed you put some oregano in this corned beef here. That's usually reserved for pizzas. But, when I was in school or when I was back in California with my hot dog cart before I bought 7 Camaros to drive around. By the way, I got to tell you this. Guy Fieri's Camaro that he brought to Chehalis for down Mackinac and then the other one over there on State Avenue. I followed that thing in my 67 RSSS. My car is nicer. Thank you. My car is a hell of a lot nicer, so take that. That does it for the Mohney Show today. Thanks for being here, Paul.
You got it.
And we're back next weekend from downstairs at the Blarneys on the Mohney Show.
Goodbye.
The real estate market is changing, and John L. Scott can answer your questions with a free market analysis. If you're a homeowner, it's really important to get a current market analysis. It only takes a few minutes of your time and contains valuable information about your biggest investment. This might be the year to make a move and take advantage of this market. For your free market analysis, see Laura Lee today at John L. Scott, 900 West Main in Centralia.